Hello and welcome. Let's have some music. And let's let the world know about this stream going out. It is sadly the last live stream until next week. I don't think I'll be able to do a live stream when I'm in Poland, so I'll do my best. I'll give it a try, but yeah, it's just not ideal. With I need more screens. We'll see. We'll see. So, welcome to the daily NFT market health analysis with me, Daniel Tenner, aka Swombat, microphone right in my face, where we look at the state of the market, what's happening based on data rather than just vibes, what's going on with sales volumes in particular. That's the type of data that we look at. And by the way, if you're confused by these charts, I keep forgetting to mention this, but in the links in the description of this video, you can find a link to a video that explains how these charts are calculated, what they actually mean. So all your questions can be answered just by looking in the description of this video, and it's a 15-minute explainer video that explains how this all works. So if we look at the volumes, first of all, which is what we usually look at first, we can see that, well, I mean, they're kind of consolidating at this level. It's definitely higher than it was during the capitulation. And that seems to be true for the top 10, for Zeneca Old, for Zeneca New, and also for the Women-Led Projects Index. All four indices seem to be trending up in the short term, or at least, up a bit and then sideways. Which, is better than trending just down, which is what they were doing for about a month. So we are, I mean, as much as I am skeptical of everything and very cautious in the current market, I feel like I have to recognize the fact that the data is telling me that things are better than they were a couple of weeks ago. Remember, these are 2-week charts here that we're looking at. So this is a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't as good as it is now. I mean, it's difficult to argue against that. The data is showing that there's more volume. Moreover, if we look at the charts here, of course, we have a bit of that sort of unhealthy-ish activity from CryptoPunks, which is sort of fading out. There was a large pump before the news announcement, a medium pump after the news announcement, and a small pump in the last day. I guess, much like all news pumps, this will fade away after a while. But there is also activity in other projects. You can see, like, multiple projects are getting some activity, and they're definitely, as a whole, getting much more activity than a couple of weeks ago. And that's true, like, in all these indices. You can see, like, a period of really dead times, like a week ago, really, right? Like a week and a half ago. And then, now it's like, on the whole, it still looks like it's kind of trending down, but it's trending down. It sort of seems to be plateauing at a level that's higher than it was a week and a half ago. So, in this market, there's not a whole lot of great news. So let's take the good news that we can get. And that's the good news that we can get at the moment, that, yeah, things are more positive than we might expect them to be, given the market context. If we look at the top 10 charts, which also has the pricing on it, we can see that also the prices have been trending up, which is, again, it's hard to see this as a negative news. In terms of market health, like, volumes are, like, if we look at them historically and we sort of draw this line here, we can see volumes are sort of at the upper edge of the bear market. Like, normally when they're, like, this was the top level of the bear market in November, December, and it was sort of middling day of the bear market around March and April. And thank you, Hicham. Hicham, I guess Hicham. Thank you, Hicham. So we can see that the volumes are still bearish. We're definitely not out of the woods. But I gave it an orange dot today because, well, I guess it's hard to argue for the fact that they are higher than before, and we could be. Thank you. We could be in a change of trends. I mean, I called the change of trend here. That really didn't happen. I hesitated to call anything when it was down here. Now we're back all the way up here. This is much more substantial than this. And we have made a higher low and then not the next higher high, but you know, there is it is a relatively positive place to be in the context. Like volumes are a bit better than they were before. When it's not bullish times yet, but you know, prices are looking up, volumes are trending upwards, possibly. Like we'll see how that lasts. We could be in a transition period where we start heading back towards bull times, hence the orange dot. Whether we actually do go to bull times or just collapse straight back down, that I obviously can't tell you. Similarly, that nobody can tell you whether that's going to happen with crypto. You know, we can all be very hopeful and bullish in our hopium consumption, but we have no idea. Whoops, we have no idea what's going to happen. And if we look at the other indices, again, we can see that a similar thing is happening. So it kind of like went down a lot, and then it's kind of gone back to effectively sort of similar levels that it was before the capitulation, which happened around here. Like, you know, things started really going down around here. The two capitulations, actually. So first this was the Terra capitulation here. So if we recall, it's much more obvious here. This double spike here is the first capitulation, which is also here. Oops. Here. And is also here. And is also here in all the... Well, it was least visible in the women-led projects index, but it is here in all these indices. In the new engine, I'll have annotations. It'll make it easier to track these things. But so, like, okay, so like after that capitulation, volumes were low, and they're about the same level or a bit higher than that, but they continued trending down for quite a while, and now they've sort of rebounded. And that is the reality that we have here. I don't want to be overly optimistic, but I also don't want to be overly pessimistic. And I want to notice when the data is telling me that maybe I'm being too pessimistic. And yes, Dickens says, enjoy the orange dot while you can. It may not last. We'll see. It might just collapse back down. I'm just indicating that maybe we're in a period where things are changing direction. That's what the orange dot is indicating. We're not in bullish times. We're still in bearish times, but maybe things are going in the other direction now. We'll see. I don't know. We'll find out. If we look at Zeneca New, so again, there also we're seeing it's not quite back to pre-Terra capitulation levels, but we should expect some kind of like long-term downtrend on these, like which you can sort of see here. Like the thing that's unexpected is a short-term downtrend, and with the new indices, hopefully we'll be able to have like more current indices, although they won't have anyway. There's questions around how these indices are calculated. The only one that should be at least flat or going up is this one, and this one is like, you know, over long term is basically sort of like flat-ish. And yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so Zeneca New also like up and to the side, and the women-led projects index is probably the one that's had the sharpest rebound after this incredibly like regular down period there, where it was like, you know, you could practically draw a straight line there. It was amazing how regular this was. It's rebounded super sharply and is now, you know, maybe on an uptrend. At least it's like, you know, kind of stabilizing here, which is around a level that it was at for like, you know, April, like before the Terra collapse. Is back to that kind of level, which is interesting to note. Let's have a quick look at crypto as well before taking questions. Let me switch to this mode and increase the size of this. I assume this is easier to see, like, you know, without my mug taking up the entire screen. If we, as I noted in my thread, by the way, it's worth being a bit cautious about, you know, things. If you look at this chart and you look here, and obviously now you know that I've just dragged it to the left and stuff. But this looks a lot like today, basically. There's been a massive drop, and then it's kind of recovered, and it's sort of hanging out about 1,000 or so, like just over 1,000 above a nice round number. And yet what happened as time passed on is like, oh, it got more and more hopeful and stuff, and then it just collapsed down. And now we had hanging out about 1,000 above a nice round number after having gone down below that. Here we went to 26,700. Here we went to 27,600. So, you know, it's even the same numbers. And Is this the market bottom? I don't know. And I don't think anybody knows. And I don't think any of the smart analysts are saying they know that this is the market bottom. There is a feeling that maybe we are at the market bottom at last here. But nobody really knows. And we should be careful to, we might make careful bets on the idea that, maybe this is the market bottom, but I would be very cautious about taking any kind of really risky bets like leverage stuff and so on, because it could be not the market bottom, and it could be that what happens next is goes on like for a while like this and then collapses down again, and maybe we go to 9,000 and then go above like 10,000. And that could happen. Of course, nobody's going to be very happy about this, except anybody who's got like a really serious short going on Bitcoin, which is insane to have at the moment, but maybe somebody does. But this could happen. So let's remember that, in fact, if it were to happen, it would probably happen like this, because this is where it hits that line where it fell down just before. So that's probably where it would fall down. And it could keep falling down to zero. I don't know. I don't think so, but, I don't know, and nobody really knows. So things are cautiously optimistic, but let's not be overly risk-taking despite things being cautiously optimistic. Yes, Ethereum looks stronger than I would have expected it to, I think. It's holding on that $1,000. It looked quite weak recently, and now it's it seems to be, to me, psychologically, it feels like Ethereum is a good bet. And I could be completely wrong. And I like the fact that Bitcoin has managed to reclaim that 20,000. I was expecting it to find 20,000 to be a really difficult ceiling to break through. It seems like it's managed to fight that battle. It didn't fight that battle in the way that I expected, but it did eventually fight that battle. And so what does this mean for NFTs? Well, if Ethereum stays stable around here, or even starts, just gently, bullishly climbing up and doesn't have another massive collapse, I mean, we are seeing increased volumes. Perhaps people are feeling like it is a good time to start buying NFTs. Maybe, whether or not the market will actually bear that out and whether or not things will actually collapse again. The reality is there is more traffic, more volume going on through NFTs. And that could continue if Ethereum continues to be stable or sort of trends upwards gently, especially if gas doesn't go too ridiculous. People yesterday asked about NFT NYC helping or not helping. I answered already, but I can say again that I'm not sure that NFT NYC will make much of a difference. In fact, one of the points I made in the thread today is that one of the most positive bits of marketing that I've seen come out of NFT NYC has been this thing there, where it looks like a demonstration from those awful gay hating church, I think the Westboro Baptist Church or something, who have these awful signs all over the place, and they go and demonstrate against gay people and stuff like that. And it's got this ban Atom Bomb Squad in the middle of there. So that's clearly an Atom Bomb Squad ad, a guerrilla marketing ad. And it's pretty clever, and a lot of people have seen it. Did it make a difference to the Atom Bomb Squad's floor price? Let's have a look. Nope. It's been trending up slowly over the last week. Okay, maybe there's a little bit more traffic here. If we go for the last one day or something, is this really enough to notice? Not really. I don't think so. This is not a substantial increase. There's a little bump. It maybe made a 0.03 difference in the floor price. 0.05 if we want to be really generous. Maybe that will change over time, but if that's the marketing effect that you're getting from a really good, clever bit of marketing, of guerrilla marketing in NFT NYC, I don't expect much else to have a huge effect in NYC, in NFT NYC. Also because if everybody's making their announcements at the same time, then they all steal hype from each other. Thoughts on the market for giving all that volume to the RR apes? I don't even know what the RR apes are. What are the RR apes? Rider Rips apes? No, surely not. What are RR apes? I must have missed that. I was playing D&D last night. Did something come out with our apes? What is it? Like, okay, so let's find out what happened. Probably I'm not the only one who doesn't know. So this is May 19th. I don't know what these are supposed to be. RBC, performance arts. Okay. I don't know what those are, so I can't really comment like in 2 seconds like this. Seems like some sort of like edgy project that reuses copyrighted material, which I'm not particularly ideological about. I doubt it's got very good long-term value, but if people are buying it, you know, that's their problem. I wouldn't, but you know, clearly I'm not everybody. So sorry, not much thoughts on the Rider Rips Bored Apes. Does anybody have any other questions that I might know about? This one I didn't. I know it's very shocking, but I don't actually know everything. I was very shocked to find that out. Like, when I discovered that, it was a very, very unpleasant discovery. And what else is there to look at? I guess the rest of the markets. So FTSE is also having a decent day. I mean, I don't trust this at all. I think I shared this before, but like there might be other viewers. Around here, I sold my entire pension fund, which is self-managed. I sold everything around here. I was like, okay, it's finally rebounding. Let me just sell everything. And I just liquidated my entire pension fund. And since then, it's gone like this. And I'm not changing that position until I see the market really turn around. And it's not turning around yet. This little bump does not fill me with confidence yet. And it could be that the same thing is happening in crypto. So do watch out, be safe, don't invest more money than you can afford to have locked up for a long time. Was your US market being closed yesterday good, bad, or neutral for our crypto? Yeah, of all the hard questions, Dickens's, was it actually closed yesterday? 17th of June. Yes, it was closed yesterday. Oh, I guess it's a public holiday in the US. I think, well, the global markets were not closed. Like the FTSE was open for the last 2 days, and it was positive for those. I don't think it makes that much difference that the US market was closed. Like, it feels like you've got a kind of view of the way, like, Bitcoin is kind of like a more 24/7 stock market is the way that I'm looking at it. It sort of reflects what's going on faster and 24/7, whilst the NASDAQ is only when it's open. So I kind of look at the NASDAQ more as confirmation that the two are still in sync, rather than as something that has an impact directly on Bitcoin. Like, you know, the shapes are relatively similar. There's enough similarities between the shapes to see that, you know, there's a connection between the two. So I think it's neutral, the fact that it's closed. It's just less trading opportunities for people trading stocks, I suppose. Cool. Do I have anything else I want to comment on? Yeah, I suppose I'll... yeah, maybe I don't know it yet. I know all the things, so long as you step outside of time and assume that I have transcended my physical form and ascended to godhood, and then I know everything. At that point, I'll know everything, and then at that point, I'll be outside of time, so it won't matter. But whilst I'm still in time and not transcended outside of my body, one thing I can share is that I've had a little bit of a delay in putting together a new chart engine because I keep having issues with Moralis, and I got tired of having these issues. I started looking at another API called Reservoir, and I really recommend it. It's reservoir.tools. It's working really well and has much better limits and stuff than what do you call it? Than Moralis. So I recommend having a look at that if you're building your own tools. It's taking me a lot less time than I thought to switch over to this new API, so I'm quite pleased with that. Hoping that when I'm in Poland, I get some time to do some more programming, and today as well, of course. And so hopefully maybe I can get something out over the next few days, because after I come back from Poland, I'll have a couple of days here in the UK. I'll do another couple of live streams on those days. But on Wednesday next week, I'm driving down to Spain for a festival called Nowhere. And while driving, I will obviously not be doing any kind of updates. And when I'm in the festival, I will also not be doing any updates. And it's a week-long festival. So I'll be gone from Wednesday. If I look at my calendar, I'll let you know. I'll be gone from Wednesday 29th all the way to Tuesday 12th. I'll be back on Monday night. So that'll be a whole couple of weeks without updates. I hope you'll be okay. I'm sure you'll be okay. The charts should still continue posting on the Discord. So if you want to keep up to date with the charts, just join the Discord and check the charts there. Feel free to discuss them with other people there. You know, maybe come up with your own analysis, like and test that analysis with other people. So you don't have to be waiting for me to give the analysis in order to come up with your own conclusions. And who knows, maybe I'll have some kind of version of like some kind of updated API available. I'm not so sure, but I'll do my best. I might have both running in parallel for that time, so that you get the charts from the old API and maybe a kind of web version that's available for anybody to use. I don't know if I'll manage that. I don't want to overpromise there. I'll do my best, but we'll see. So, but then after that, you know, I'm back for a couple of weeks, like for a week and a half after that, and then I have another festival. It's just never ends, those festivals. It's like it's summer or something. But then after that, I'm completely back. I have no more festivals for the rest of the summer. Yay! No partying, just work. Well, I actually enjoy my work, so it's I do feel a bit of annoyance that I have to stop doing the stuff that I enjoy doing to do other stuff that I enjoy doing. I wish I could do everything at the same time. But that's life. I haven't transcended my physical form yet, so therefore I still have to do one thing at a time, and that cannot include going to a festival and doing live streams at the same time. The desert doesn't have that kind of reception, and plus I wouldn't want to. Like, when you go to a festival, it's important to be present there. Okay. So thank you very much for dialing in. So as mentioned on the thread, no live stream updates until next week. Probably I'll see if I can try to do one when I'm in Poland, but I'm not guaranteeing that. And definitely a couple of updates, live stream updates next week, and then a couple of weeks with no updates at all, which I know will be very, very stressful for everyone, but I'm sure you'll be okay. And don't forget, just join the Discord and look at the charts for yourself. And feel free to post comments on the public discussion channel and say, hey, like, you know, I think this is what's happening based on the charts. What do you guys all think? And probably other people will respond as well, because, you know, we're humans and humans have opinions. That's what we do. So, and some of us humans like to share our opinions. That's clearly what I do. So yeah, thank you very much for dialing in. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the weather if it's good where you are, or, you know, enjoy not enjoying the weather. You know, you can even enjoy not enjoying things sometimes. Just enjoy being able to exist and not enjoy the weather if the weather is not enjoyable right now. I'll see you definitely next week, and obviously I'll sort of see you on the threads over the next few days, which might come at slightly irregular hours, but we'll see. Take care, have a wonderful day and week, and have fun investing and trading, and don't take too many risks, remember. Bye bye.